Hey guys, it's your auction mama out here. I get tired of sitting at the desk a lot of times, so I was like, I'll just come outside and talk to them. And then my editing equipment isn't, what it needs to be right now. So I'm on the phone. Anyway, I wanted to come on here and talk about, you know, I do think there's going to be a foreclosure wave, and a lot of people are like, Ashley, why do you think that? And you guys, okay, so first of all, I'm an auctioneer. We all know that. And you guys, I literally am contracted by the foreclosure attorneys, right? So one of them called me and was like, get ready, get ready. And on top of that, you guys, let me say this first of all. In a normal housing market, right? People buy, sell, and foreclose. In a normal, healthy housing market, first of all, we haven't had a healthy housing market in, you guys, how long? Since before the pandemic, right? Since before, yeah, we have not had a healthy housing market because we've had all these moratoriums, or we've done some, assistance to help people or something like that, which is needed. So don't feel like I'm saying that like we shouldn't have done that, because it was all definitely needed. But I brought some numbers. So 2010, right? Okay, so keep in mind, first of all, I've been licensed since 2006. I have been an active real estate agent since 2006. Okay, so I saw the whole housing market, everything when it happened. So let's talk about foreclosure numbers. 2010, we had 2.9 million foreclosures in 2010, right? That was right after the crash. 2015, we had 569,000 foreclosures. 2018, 630,000. 2019, 500,000. In a healthy market, you guys, people buy, sell, and foreclose. Y'all, I'm walking down the street. Let's pray I don't trip and bust my behind, or get hit by a car. 2020. Okay, so 2019, 500,000, 500,000 foreclosures. Okay, pandemic hit 2020, 50,000. 2021, 25,000. In 2022, last year, we had 42,000 foreclosures. You guys, where are all the people at, right? Like, I mean, in a healthy market, we foreclose on people. So right now, they're reporting that we have about 350,000 people currently in foreclosure right now. Y'all, HUD put out a report. I save HUD's report. I read it every single month. HUD reported that we have, 5 million people behind on their mortgage. We have 6 million people behind on their rent currently right now. So yes, while the numbers look like, okay, we only got 300,000 people in foreclosure right now, y'all, we got like 5 million people behind on their mortgage. And ask me if I believe if that number is true. I absolutely do not. I think that number is much higher. In 2020, when the pandemic hit, the White House put out a statement that said we had over 10 million people behind on their mortgage. Over 10 million people. The White House put out a statement. I linked that article under another video, but I'll link it again so y'all can read it. So now we're down to what? Maybe 4 or 5 million people. You guys, I don't believe that for one second. Not when people call me, right? I had a guy call me the other day. Literally, he has not paid his mortgage in 2 years, right? And I was like, you got to be in foreclosure. When's your auction date? He was like, I don't have an auction date. I'm not in foreclosure. I'm like, you haven't paid your mortgage in 2 years. And he was like, I was like, send me your mortgage statement, right? Send me your mortgage statement so I can see. He sends it to me. You guys, he was right. He's not in foreclosure. It's not on his mortgage statement. He's not in foreclosure. I wonder how many other people, you guys, are just have not paid in 2 years and are not in foreclosure, right? And every day they have FEMA puts out a moratorium. I think Tennessee has a moratorium right now for storm damage, the moratorium. So they can't foreclose here in Shelby County. Almost fell. In Shelby County until December. And then there will probably be a holiday moratorium, which stops the foreclosures again too. You guys, it's just like putting a Band-Aid on a pig, right? It's like putting a Band-Aid, not a Band-Aid on a pig, Band-Aid on a leak, on a pipe, right? On a busted pipe. You guys, it's so, I see them all the time. I see them all the time. The guy said that he applied for a modification, right? That takes time. That takes a couple of months. He didn't get the modification, so then they put him in forbearance, right? And so he was in forbearance for 3 months. So then he came out of forbearance, and then They said they were going to offer him his personal mortgage company has some assistance, some mortgage assistance, right? So he's going to apply for the mortgage assistance. That's what he's doing. So now he's in that process. And I guess, and then he, in front of all that, he hadn't paid his mortgage, which kicked off this whole thing, right? Which kicked off him having to get the modification and all that kind of stuff. So, how many, y'all, and I don't, like I said, I think, and everybody has their own opinion of what the numbers are going to be when it comes to foreclosure. You guys, if the White House said over 10 million, what's over? You know what I mean? What exactly is over 10 million? Is that 15 million? What is that? And like I said, I was in real estate in 2006, right? So I saw the devastation that came with the housing crash. And I love The Big Short. The Big Short is trending on Netflix right now because Michael Burry, shorted the stock a couple of weeks ago. So now it's trending on Netflix. So my point is, there's never like a warning sign. Well, there are warning signs, but we don't ever hear about them like on the news. The news doesn't share the warning signs with you. It's not like how hurricane or a weather watch. It's like, okay, Hurricane Elsa is off the Gulf. It should hit the mainland about 9:15. Tampa, take cover at this time. It's not like that, right? With the last housing crash, I mean, there were people talking. There were people who knew about it, right? Absolutely. Watch The Big Short. I know it's still like a hypothetical depiction of their idea of what happened, right? But there's always people who know, right? There's always people who know, but their voices aren't as loud as the people who are like, the economy is good, unemployment is down. That's the depiction you get. You just wake up and it's like First Republic crashed, or Silicon Valley collapsed, or Lehman Brothers, you know what I mean? Like back in 2008, filed bankruptcy, right? 4 million people are losing their homes. It's never a warning sign. So that's my point, you guys. At this point, I don't ever believe what's on the news. Like if they report some numbers, I'm always like, okay, let me add 1,000 to that, because the news is always going to make it seem like everything is fine, everything is great, unemployment is down, the economy is healthy, Amazon just reported its highest earnings all quarter, and then, like I said, then you wake up and what? Yellow trucking company files bankruptcy, right? Or the housing market has crashed, or a bank has collapsed, right? And I believe it'll probably be some more banks collapsing with all the tightening restrictions and all that. I mean, the news is swirling about commercial real estate, right? We are at least talking about that, the commercial real estate market. So, you guys, the foreclosures are coming. They're coming. I have no doubt. I mean, unless, of course, it's all still politics, and I'm not like a big political person, right? But it is an election year, right? So nobody really wants a housing market crash on their record, right? As a president. So we can always put a Band-Aid on it, or we can always offer assistance, or we can always put a moratorium in place, to hold up. But it's like kicking the can. That's what people say. It's just, you're just kicking the can down the road, right? But again, in a healthy real estate market, people buy, sell, and foreclose. That's just in a healthy real estate market. And we haven't foreclosed on people in 3 years. You guys, it's people like in 2019 when the pandemic hit, the moratorium saved them from going into foreclosure, right? So there's those people, plus the 2 years of people, right, who have not been foreclosed on. And I know everybody's got equity, blah, 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 blah. So, which is true, right? Which is true, which you would hope helps. And everybody's like, well, people can just sell. Then why don't they, right? If that's the case, then why are there always 500 and 600,000 people in foreclosure if they could just sell, right? Because that's too much like right? And so what's the thing with real estate? Your home value, because everybody's like, you got equity, everybody's home values. You guys, the thing about real estate, and I say this all the time, the good thing about real estate is your home value is dependent on the homes around you. If everybody's home value is going up, then your home value goes up. The same is on the flip side of that. The bad thing about real estate is if everybody around you's home value goes down, so does yours too, right? So all it takes is for Jenny and Jeffrey decide to go ahead and sell their house, or they get nervous and sell it for cheap. Let a couple of your neighbors start selling their house for cheap, or got to get up off of it. Y'all, what happened to your equity? It goes down, right? And right now we got high interest rates. Sellers don't want to move because they don't want to give up their interest rates, right, and get something else. Buyers, it's just unaffordable for buyers right now because everything's so high. That's why when they say people were in foreclosure, over 10 million people were in foreclosure, I'm like, ain't nothing changed in the last 2 years. Eggs are still high, gas is still high, life is still high right now, right? So do I believe that over 10 million people have caught up on their mortgage? Heck no. No way. No way. Now maybe half of them have, maybe some of them were able to catch up. But you guys, like, has the economy improved that much since the pandemic? Absolutely not. Look, I was questioning myself yesterday at the store when I was buying some creamer for my coffee. I was like, when did my creamer become $4.50 for the creamer for my coffee? You know what I mean? Like, I'm even questioning stuff that I'm buying. So, that's my opinion. Do I think foreclosures are coming? Absolutely. There's not a doubt in my mind. I mean, they just can kick the can a little longer or just hold them off a little longer. But you can only do that for so long. Banks can only keep these defaulted notes on their books for so long, right? We'll just see. And now I know, I've heard hedge funds, aren't buying like they used to because interest rates are too high, right? So hedge funds aren't buying. So what happens when people default? The foreclosure process, they get behind on their mortgage, then the properties go into foreclosure and they come to me at the auction first, right? They come to me at the auction. If I can't sell them, then they become an REO, right? Real estate owned by the bank. But a lot of times, like, these big hedge funds get in front of me in the line, right? I'm supposed to be the first person in line. They default, then they come to the auction. These hedge funds can go directly to the banks because, I mean, come on, we're the hedge funds basically, and make a deal and buy the notes from the banks, right? So, but right now hedge funds aren't buying, right? So that means I'm back first in line again. The auction, right? So we will be seeing these foreclosures hit the auction. When? I don't know. We're about to go into the holidays, so I'm sure they don't want to foreclose on people during the holidays. And there will be a holiday moratorium. I think it starts December the 13th or something around there. There will be a holiday moratorium until the first of the year. And then we will see what happens in 2024. We will see what happens in like I said, hedge funds aren't buying. So that gives opportunity for people who do have money, like the middleman or the smaller investment people, to buy, give them an opportunity to buy at the auction. And then the things that don't sell at the auction become REOs. So people who have financing and stuff like that, y'all can buy REOs, the people looking for foreclosures like that. But that's just my 2 cents, you guys. I'm just out here walking and talking, trying not to trip and fall. Maybe I'll come and do these videos again. This video won't be edited, you guys. You're just going to have to get the raw, uncut version, right? I do have the Auction Accelerator course. If you want to learn how to bid at auctions, there's a link. It's a link somewhere, probably below, you guys. There's a link. I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley on Instagram. But what do you think? What do you see where you live? Everybody has an opinion about foreclosures and the wave. I'm not saying the housing market is going to crash. I'm not saying that. I'm not predicting that. But do I think there will be an increase in foreclosures? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's like no choice, you guys. 2 + 2 is 4. We've only had 40,000 people last year, 50,000 people before that. And in a good year, in a regular year, we foreclosed on like 500,000. Come on. 2 + 2 was 4, right? Like, and this is not something that I'm proud of or anything. Like, I'm not, gosh, when you think about people foreclosing, you guys, like during the last, and that's what kind of makes me so upset. It makes me so upset. Because people know what's going on. They know what's going on. During the last housing crash, you guys, what was it, like 3-4 million people went into foreclosure? The suicide rate goes up when the foreclosure rate goes up. Because that's just, gosh, you guys, it's just horrible. That makes me so upset. Go watch The Big Short. I have it on DVD. That literally tells you my love for the movie and the market. I have it on DVD. That's how long I've actually had the movie, right? So go watch it. Go watch it. And if you watch the movie, there's a part in there where it's like, why aren't the markets reflecting what's going on in the economy, right? Why aren't the markets reflecting it? You know, and it took it a minute because everybody was acting like everything was fine. It was the calm before the storm. So just remember that. Do your research. Dig deeper. You know, as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, do all the things, comment, let me know what you think. I bet a bunch of you are going to be like, no, Ashley, you're wrong. It is what it is, you guys. We will see. We will see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.